Yeah.
This message was brought to you by ZIZ and the St. Kitts Nevis Fire Department.
And of course, the fire department is here with us, looking nice and sunny and bright.
And hot.
Like the sun out on the outside, right? 10 minutes up to the hour of 10 o'clock, and we're running behind time for sure. But definitely, here we fit in. We make sure the community is well informed with all the goodies.
Yep, indeed.
Speaking about goodies, this is your busy time of the year when not only things do happen, but getting to them might be a little difficult because of the clutter of traffic. During Christmas time, I don't know where the cars and trucks to come from.
Telling you.
But everybody they pull out
Everybody.
the wheels, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
getting from A to B is a big difficulty.
Yes.
Yeah? So you guys working on things like that?
Yeah.
I know you Cyrene speaks a lot, but some people still forgetting to pull over.
So I think one of the key things is to continue educating the public about when they hear a siren, what they should do, which is to pull over on your left and allow the emergency vehicles to pass.
All right. I hope they're listening. Man,
Hope they're
because
listening indeed.
I see it all the time. I see it all the time. So you guys have your stuff to speak about today.
yeah.
So I'll let you guys talk to me. Tell me.
So
Well, today we basically just gonna touch on back on equipment. One of our main equipment that we use on every and any fire call is our simple but all important fire hoses. And we're just gonna go through a bit, the different types that we have and what we use them for, and just explain a little bit. Persons might see them around and just feel like, oh well, that's just a little hose on the ground, and that really isn't anything. So we're just gonna sensitize them a bit and what they are. For starters, we have two hose categories. We have what you call a hard suction, and we have what you call a soft suction. The hard suction is a rigid rubberized hose with wire reinforcement, wire coil reinforcement inside of the rubber. And this particular hose is used mainly to draft water from the sea or from a pond, from a swimming pool. What have you, in the absence of like a fire hydrant. During a hurricane, water supply might be disrupted, so we have to resort to the sea. Or sometimes we might be in an area where there's swimming pool, but fire hydrants is inaccessible, so we have to take the water from the swimming pool, which of course we have to replace as soon as possible after that. But we can take that water without permission, but we have to replace it at some point, sooner rather than later. So that's the hard suction. It is a non-collapsible, rigid rubber, wire reinforced, and mainly used to take water from
outside
sources. Other than fire hydrants. And I'll allow Mr. Martin to explain what the soft suction is.
So yes, the soft suction would be more of what persons would see us use on a regular basis.
Coming from the truck or coming from the hydrant.
Right, exactly. So
it's more flexible, I would assume.
Indeed. So
the diameters are different?
Yes, the diameter is different. You're reading me notes, man.
Right up there.
So yes, the soft suction, they're the delivery hoses that we get from the fire hydrant, supplying water from the fire hydrant to the fire truck, or from the fire truck to the fire scene. And these soft suction, they vary in length. You could have like a 75-foot length hose. You could have 100-foot length hose. We predominantly use the 75 and the 100 feet. Well, we interchange between both.
Depends on the distance. Where you are.
Right. And we can have we carry two types. We carry the rubber ones. That's the orangish color, more red.
Yeah.
Red hoses that you will see, and then you would see some white ones, which is the canvas hose.
Yeah.
Now, back in the day, the tower that is in the fire station, that used to be a drying tower where the canvas, they predominantly use canvas back in the day. And what would happen is that in order for them to get the canvas hoses dried properly, they would attach them to a pulley and hoist them up in the air in the tower for them to properly drain. Because then, you know, that brings me into an area of different damages that could be done to the fire hose. And you know, canvas is a type of material that, if left moist, could end up rotting, mildew and things like this, mold. So they had to be properly dried and then restocked to be back on the fire.
You guys used to be rolling them up.
Oh yeah, we still do.
It's part of the exercise.
That is a part of the exercise, keeping you fit.
Yep.
So yes, 75 feet, 100 feet. The hard suction hose though, the one that Mr. Williams spoke about, the more rigid ones, that can't be rolled, right? But
but that comes in pieces, right? Where you could join and join.
Yeah, normally as you buy a truck, normally you get about 4 links. Normally, there's sometimes where you get 2, and these are 4 inches.
Yeah,
in
with them
diameter,
4 inches,
between 8 to 10 feet.
8 to 10 feet long.
Those who used to be on the side of the trucks.
Yes, right. Those same.
You paid attention to the truck, man.
Remember, I used to live on
Exactly.
That used to be the playing field, you know.
Yeah, man.
Good old days. I told him so the other day. Play
So
cricket, shoot pool, everything
People
was
used
happening
to
over
love
there.
to come and visit the fire station.
The community was a part of the fire department, you know.
in relation to the soft suction, they are customized. You could buy the length, whatever length you choose. If you want a 200 foot, you order 200 foot. If you want a 20 feet, you order 20 feet. And the diameter varies. We use 1.5 inches and 2.5 inches. But there are other regions that may use something bigger. For instance, in the US, maybe British, the line that they take from the fire hydrant, because the fire hydrants are different in design. They have pedestrian type hydrants that stand above ground. They would probably use a 4-inch or 5-inch line from the hydrant to the chuck. And then from the chuck, they would use maybe a 2.5 line. So they are supplying the chuck with much more water than is going out. Here we use the same size in, and we reduce it, try in most cases to reduce the size out, so that the water flow out is not more than what is coming in. And then you have to set the RPMs to make sure that you're not emptying the truck faster than the water is coming in. Yes, so they vary. Sometimes it depends on preference.
Last time you were here when we had a little discussion about the hose, remember I asked you, back in the day, you used to take 5 and 6 guys to hold on a hose now because technology or how your spout is.
Yes.
One fellow could handle himself.
Yeah. Of course, back in the day, they mainly used it 2.5 inch.
And that's where the big pressure used to be.
Yes, a lot of pressure. And then the type of branches that they use, they didn't have much adjustment. They had adjustment, but not as much. So sometimes the type of branch they use, they almost getting full pressure. So you had to take 2, maybe 3 men to hold that line steady. But now you only need one guy, and you don't even have to be that big. Because the nozzles they're using now, you could control your gallonage, you could control pressure. You set it to suit you.
I think in the old days they used to screw up the nozzle, put back on a different one to for the changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not
Yeah.
not no. We just switch the head, switch
Just
the
like
head.
the garden hose
Just like
type
how
thing,
you
yeah.
the garden hose that
Yeah.
you show up.
Yeah.
Same thing. You get different effect. You have fogs, you have broken stream, you have a solid stream,
Solid
you have a
stream.
straight jet. So depending on what you need it for, you just make that adjustment, adjust your water gallonage, and you're good to go. One man.
All right.
It's like the fog pattern allows you to control the hose a lot better when it is under pressure. If you use like a straight stream, a solid stream, then that tends to
Push back
push
on.
you back. Yeah, so you have to really lean in, to get control of that
We used
hose.
to enjoy
Yep,
them times
yep.
watching you guys. But you can't hold it down, boy.
Some of the guys they still like to throw the challenges as to
Challenge
who
yourself
hold
to
down,
see who can hold on, yeah.
Challenge you, hey, how much pressure you could withstand. So,
Yeah.
especially like when we're doing pump drills and so, they might tell the truck man, hey, give him a little more pressure so he could see what
See the
he's
feel, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so and then the truck man has to be paying attention, because when he see the guy start to slide back, it's time to shut down. Right?
Oh, okay.
It's time to shut down.
Suppose you own a yard where you can, the truckman can see.
Well, we have
Somebody got to-
persons.
Somebody got to say
Somebody got
something.
to
Okay, you got a chain reaction.
Yeah,
Okay,
because we
what's
have
going on?
at least 5-6 guys laid out, so they would have to relay the information up. The guy at the front who shout water off, and if the truckman can't hear, then we have to relay. But with technology now, everybody should have a radio attached. So if I say shut down, then the truckman could hear that.
Okay, great.
Because it's not every time we are in line of sight. So we have to depend on, we really need to depend on technology to be operating in a safe.
You guys have come a long
environment.
way. I mean,
We,
you
indeed,
know,
we have.
definitely.
We have.
Have you? Could we safely say that we have had less house fires over the years?
Yeah.
It is reducing drastically too, and it is because of awareness. A program like
definitely.
this,
A program like this
and
definitely is done well.
Our fire prevention drive that we have, I think that is contributing greatly to people that are becoming more conscious, and they are now practicing more the safe habits as it relates to fire. And
But you are
preventing
seeing
fires.
more grass fires now.
Grass fires. That's
It's common. That's the common.
I mean bush everywhere. So and there's
But around this time is less because it's more wet.
It's more wet.
yeah, we have less, of
Yeah,
course.
during the summertime.
This
you get
part of the
dry.
year, it
Yeah.
drops drastically.
Between March and April, when the place is dry.
Those are the spikes
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
around that period. Lots of fires. I mean, Bassi alone, this station alone, would have more fires than the whole of Nevis.
For some reason, the field there going up to Frigate Bay on your left hand side, almost every year catches.
Every
Why?
year.
No, I'm serious. I'm aware of it.
No, you see, but we
Every
laugh.
year.
We laugh, but that it's a fact.
I know they
Every
used to have one or
season
two
during-
guys burning coals in the.
Yeah, they still
back
have
in
some
the
coal
day.
kilns in the
Yeah,
area.
you think there might be a little escape? Because it's an annual thing.
It is.
It is an annual
It
thing.
is. It's
That
a-
feel.
so those are the areas. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, I am of the opinion, is persons who
I-
like to see fire.
I believe so
being
too,
lit,
because
going
it's almost
about
every.
lighting
I
is-
could say I'm gonna go on a block and say every year.
Mhm.
That particular field catches every
Yep.
year, and sometimes more than once.
Mhm.
So we know the hot spots. So what we do, that field in particular, we know that field not might. We know it will.
Well,
So what we do, because we could see that area from the station. So we would always look out in that area, and the first sight of
First sight
smoke,
of-
Yeah, you try
gone.
to nip it.
we're not
quickly.
even waiting for anybody to call.
Call.
Yeah.
A
I
few
know
cases,
because when that catches, the wind alone,
it's
the wind
chaotic.
alone, you know it's gonna jump.
It's
It
chaotic.
jumps the road and it comes over onto the other one down by the school and all of that.
Fortunately enough,
Lord, whoever doing that, I hope
this
is wise
year
at one day.
and last year we didn't have much on the
the western
western half
end.
of
Yeah.
Kim Collins Highway
Yeah.
because
side. The
they
vegetation.
You catch it
they
early.
did that plowing, the vegetation
Oh yes,
was
yes,
really
yes,
low.
yeah.
So
So we
hopefully, the entity that did that, if they could,
Do it
go over
again.
that again.
Mhm.
Cause
You-
vegetation.
Yeah.
I drove that area this morning. I went
Mhm.
Canary to take back Umano, and I decided to drive right back up
Mhm.
behind here, and it's worse than it was before it burned.
Mhm.
I mean, once it burned,
Yeah.
it springs back
Of
up.
Yeah,
course,
yeah,
yeah.
and it's
Mhm.
good soil in there.
Vegetation is thick.
Yeah, it's very good soil in
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
so you
Mhm.
know that
Yeah.
it comes back with, and with the kind of good rain we're getting right now.
Yeah.
But that's something you guys should look into. Whoever did that plowing I think they was doing that for the solar plant.
Yeah, I think they want.
Probably.
Yeah, he
wanna
was
put
doing that
down
for the
some-
solar plant
yeah.
that was supposed to be there.
Mhm.
And so something like that, if you can get them to just keep it
And-
clear, even just for summertime, that would help.
Well, hopefully we could. We'll have to start maybe early January. See if we
Yeah.
could get that area. But one of the things that we have been recommending is if we could get the area properly parceled out and have wide enough fire breaks
fire
so the
breaks.
fire don't jump.
Jump, yeah.
Widen the roads, widen the dirt tracks so that
mm.
the fire don't jump. As we might be able to contain it to one parcel. They out it right there, and then you don't have the huge fire disrupting businesses and school has to
And the
close.
school especially, yeah.
And
they really
Seventh Adventist is one of the schools that suffers the
yeah,
most.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then there's a preschool right by the Seventh, and then there's a preschool right by the church. The church by Credit Union, I think
Yeah.
is
Mhm.
Christian Life
Yes.
Assembly.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
preschool.
yeah.
Yeah,
That is affected as well.
and then
greatly.
Beach Island to some extent. So we have to do some work next year to try and prevent that area from going up in flames like that.
Okay. We got some questions. We want to see if anybody have a question or two.
Yeah, if anybody is on the
Yeah,
line,
definitely, man. Anyone want to call in and ask a question, give an advice, whatever, we are open. 465-2555. In the meantime, when he was speaking about hydrants, you guys still have problems with people parking over hydrants and stuff?
It still happens.
It's an offense, right? Supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. The problem is because the hydrants are, on the ground. Most persons.
Hold the line. Okay, we have a caller, quick and speedily. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Sergeant Robert.
Yes, sir, what's up?
It's Sonny Boy calling from New York.
Yes,
Can you hear
sir.
me?
Hey,
Yeah,
Sonny
yeah,
Boy.
here you Sonny Boy.
Yeah, I hear you always make a lot of reference to the United States. And that's really important when you say that, because do you all have the opportunity to come to America and train, get instruction from New York City firemen then? I'm asking the question.
That's how you
really?
all get to do any training.
I never did any training with the New York firefighters, but when I went to Texas, I got to spend a bit of time with the firefighters there in Texas. I was able to even go on a call with them to see how they operate. It was quite interesting.
Yeah, I would have received some, 2.5 months of training with the Japanese. But we have not really been exposed to the training in the fire related training to that extent with those guys in New York.
Well, the reason why I asked that question is because you remember I made a comment about New York City firemen where they have to be on for 3 days and they got 3 days off. And one of your colleagues said what I was saying was nonsense. And I said that to say this. I never seen nowhere around the world the tremendous danger that New York City firemen then be into. They run into burning buildings, and most of them don't make it back out. And it's spectacular to see my heart bleed when one of them get killed. So I've said this to ask you this, that I think it's very important for you all to get knowledge and training with other bigger country fire department, because they teach you technique that you all really don't know. So that's my comment for the day.
Yes,
thank you
sir.
very much for your
and,
comment.
And that's an avenue that we have been venturing and exploring. We may have had one or two guys who would have benefited from exposure to training in bigger countries. We had persons who were going to England and spend some time in a fire school there. We had persons, going to Japan, and while them it is not maybe an annual thing. We do get one or two chances, but going forward, hopefully, we will have more persons being exposed to that type of training.
And training is something that we seek on a yearly basis to attain funding for, and so the guys could be up to date as to the firefighting techniques. And
but time to time, do persons come here for training? Like,
yeah, we have had persons come before.
Yeah, we've had trainers come from Canada, from a training school, Festi, to do some airport fire training with us. And we've also had guys leave St. Kitts and go to Canada to the same school to be certified in aerodrome firefighting. I am one of the beneficiaries of that training.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is staffing at the fire department? Folks joining, or you got to beat somebody over the head to get them in, or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
We have a lot of persons lined up to join the fire department. But what I would say is that we have an establishment, and meaning that there is a set number in for personnel within the organization. But hopefully soon.
What's your number like? Roundabout.
Okay, when
20?
The thing is, when we fired, when fire department separated from police, we separated. We had, I think, around 100 men.
Okay.
That was the establishment. We now have maybe about 100 and maybe 610, somewhere around there.
Really?
But.
Me not so much fire, man. Where you guys hiding?
They're all over, man. They're all over. They're split up between six stations.
Oh, okay.
You might just see the tongue ones often. Yeah, but like you mentioned, we have persons who come for applications and they apply. We have a lot of applications on file, but once we reach that max number, that's a different story, because now you got to go train the establishment. You have the budget to pay extra people and that kind of stuff. So, but hopefully, maybe in the future, we might be able to increase that number, because honestly, the economy has grown, the workload has grown, so we have to be innovative.
How about trucks? We have enough trucks?
We have.
I'm still asking about this. Still asking him about the fast truck. You put it back together yet?
Yeah, the fast truck. The maintenance. I'm doing some work on the fast truck.
Got to put him back on the road, man. I'd like to see it gallop here.
Yeah. Well, the first fast one is still down. We had an upgrade to that one, which is even faster.
What?
But hopefully that'll be back up. But what we need to do is, now that we are moving away from our traditional 2-story, 1-story house, and we are going now to 4, 5, 6, 7 floors. Those are high-rise buildings for us. Those are our skyscrapers. So we now have to look at appliances, equipment, devices that are
Extended
designed for fighting fires in those type of buildings. It's not easy to run up 7 or 8 flights of stairs with a 2.5-inch hose to run back down.
I think I saw one of those futuristic struck up at the port sometime there. That was you guys?
Yeah. That's an airport truck. Yeah. Airport truck.
I was wondering how come you see that on the road at all?
No, you wouldn't sit down the road. That's too big.
Too big
for
the daily.
For street use.
Okay.
So those are designed for airport firefighting. Yeah.
Remember that runway is pretty wide.
Yeah. I saw it at the port, and I'm like, fellas moving up, right?
Yeah, I mean,
stepping up the game.
We really moving up, and that's the first one we would have gotten from that region. We normally buy from Rosenbauer, USA. This one is from Rosenbauer, Austria.
Okay.
And so their design is a little bit, different, a little more
But
classy.
it's a solid
But I want to believe that the
Well,
US is now adopting that style. So you will see a lot of that coming out of the US. But we have made significant strides. We still have some work to do.
Looking good, I
but
tell you. Looking good.
yeah.
Hey guys, thanks a lot for coming in and giving us, as usual, good, solid updates. Anything you want to speak to persons, to prepare themselves for the upcoming season? Any sort of advice,
Well,
security-wise?
I would say for
The drivers,
one,
especially,
stay clear of drinking and driving. We not only go and deal with fires, we go and deal with accident scenes as well.
and it's not
so-
only drinking, too tired. Being
Tired,
tired,
yeah.
just going all the time.
People going and then you're having to go drive. Sometimes it's late in the night where you are the lone person and
Yeah.
then you lose focus and veer off
Definitely.
onto something. So make sure you get your rest. Make sure don't drink and drive. Practice any fire safe initiative where possible.
I will just add a little bit and say, do not get intoxicated and drive.
Yeah.
Don't drive under
Drinking and
the,
driving
don't
is
drive under the
under the
influence. Okay, we know this is December. This is the time that we see the increase in vehicular accidents. So we are hoping that we have a quiet 2022 as it relates to accidents. So let us be cautious, because sometimes you make that decision to drive drunk, and then in the end you don't lose your life, but somebody else lost theirs as a result of the decision that you made.
Definitely.
And so we just asking persons to be careful. And of course, this is the season for cooking. You have to, you ham and the turkey and everything. You have to be careful. Make sure you get your fire. Make sure you get your fire extinguishers. Those of you who like to cook, you get a Class K for your kitchen. Make sure you protect your property, your investment, your family. As you go through our festive season. Yeah, so we're asking you to be safe.
Right.
Invest in a smoke detector as well.
Of course.
Put in the batteries.
And don't take them out to put them in the toys. You have to remember. Yeah.
Those batteries are not supposed to move until they die out.
That's right.
Definitely. No interchanging.
Yeah,
Hey guys, thanks a lot as usual, man. And some
Yes,
good
yes.
moments.
Every time.
And hoping to see you guys on the Juve Extreme style, Wet
Right.
Down style. These guys always come
That's
through for me,
hitting.
so.
That's hitting.
We're gonna bring him out early one.
I don't step out at a long time, man.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. And
Yes,
keep
yes.
up the good works, man. Always a
Yes.
pleasure.
Bless up.
All right.
ZIZ Radio, entertaining the nation, enjoyed by the world.
Whether it's a dress store on 4th Street, a snack in Cayon, or a village grocery in St. Paul's, our small businesses play an important role in our economy. By supporting these businesses, you are helping to create or keep a job or two and to revive our economy. Support our local small businesses. Buy local and keep the doors to our small businesses open. This message is brought to you by ZIZ in support of our small businesses across the Federation.
This magic moment. Giving back.